What up, internet? How you doing? I sound like I'm still sick, because I am. I'm still sick. I'm still dying. But that don't mean that the work is done. That means the work still's gots to go. So, we are back in the garden today because our garden rests for no man. So, we've got a few things going on here. I'd like to bring in my lady who's bent over and looking kind of in a funny position right now. Victoria right here, my darling. What are you doing, my darling? What are you doing?
Planting lettuce and marigolds.
Planting lettuce, marigolds. We got
Strawberries.
Strawberries going in. Those are down there.
And then we'll have purple tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, red tomatoes, Brussels sprouts. We've got broccoli rabe. We only have one pea right now and one pepper.
One pea and one pepper. We gotta sprout some more.
One pea and one pepper. Oh, and we have, courtesy of a friend of mine, we have some pinto beans to go in, and she actually gave us the red tomatoes.
Pinto's beans and Red's tomatoes.
Pinto's beans.
Is there an airplane flying over again? Yeah, welcome to our house. There are airplanes flying around. All right, so some of the stuff that we got going on here is we've got two different types of soil that came in, and all right, so the types of soil that we have one type that is sort of good, and we have one type that is sort of not good. And to explain that would be that we have some of this. All right, hold on, let me get both here. All right, so we've got both soil right here. So we've got this real black soil right here that just has too much organic compound in it. And then we've got this old soil from last year that has probably just too much wood and stuff in it, right? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, too much.
We've basically got two different soils. One is kind of amended with too much sand, too much wood chip and stuff like that. And then we've got one here that's super clumpy and dark and black because it's just got too much organic in it.
Yeah, one drains too well, the other one holds too much water.
Yeah, one drains too well, which is this kind of woody colored one here. This is like lightly woody colored one. And then this one's holding moisture too well, seeing it how it's clumping up and really just needs to be amended a little bit, which is why we're mixing it with this real sandy woody stuff that we got right here. So that's a big portion of what we've been doing today, is mixing the two soils together, getting them mixed and so that we can start planting. So you can see that Vicky is planting in the ones over there that I've already got mixed up, and she's actually getting in. What are those marigolds for? What do they do?
So marigolds can be good for pest control.
She's saying they're good for pest control.
They're also can be good for just for good companion planting. So here I'm using them for pest control with the lettuce, deter bugs and things like that.
Oh, so she's planting those in there with, they will do a good amount of pest control and help keep bugs and stuff off of the lettuce, basically, is what she was saying. I noticed that the mic wasn't picking that up, so I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
And
we'll be planting we're going to be doing some hanging baskets of nasturtiums, which are going to go up near the top of the post here. The hanging baskets of nasturtiums. So nasturtiums are, they're good companion plants for like beans and peas and stuff, but I found out through my own experience that they don't plant them too close, because the job of a nasturtium is actually to draw aphids to it, and you don't want aphids on your plants. So
or in your eyebrows. You don't want aphids in your eyebrows like I get them. You don't you don't want that either.
In your eyebrows either.
So it's a good idea to plant some nasturtiums adjacent to your eyebrows so that the aphids get in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So somebody was asking me recently, how would you know what kind of soil that you have? Now, I would say that like the easiest way to start to learn some about your soil would be to check some, basically like check some YouTube videos, essentially, like people giving you kind of a breakdown and stuff on YouTube videos. Or you could be like Vicky and I and constantly be messing with soil all the time and having years and years of eventually figuring it out, right?
Right.
But it would be much easier, in my opinion, to actually just check out some some videos and stuff and go like, oh, okay. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video today, is kind of show you guys some of the difference of the soils that we got going on here, and let you guys kind of know that basically, like, this soil over here, like, it being black doesn't really mean anything, but it being black is a good indication of a lot of organic material in the soil, right? And then the fact that it's super clumpy also is a good sign of that. So you start to think of like, you know, a bog, right, would have like that real dark colored soil, and that's generally because there's a lot of you know, organics mixed into it and stuff like that. And then this real light stuff has a lot of sand in it, and we're mixing the two together because we're going to end up with just even draining, which is pretty important for a raised bed situation, not as much in the ground. In the ground, we probably would have just simply layered this dark, heavy organic stuff on top of the ground, and then just tilled it in real quickly. And the main thing for the tilling would have been just to build what I'm sure you guys have seen time and time again, is the rows of the little mounds for the planting. That would have been the main reason for the tilling. It wouldn't have been so much as to mix it all together. But we have a little hand tiller here for our raised beds. Of course, Vicky's doing that right now, so you guys can get an idea of it, and I'll get back to doing that as soon as we're done shooting here. But overall, pretty happy with the fact that I think this whole load of this like black stuff that we got, what was it? It was like 90 bucks, I think.
Yeah, just over.
So I think it was about 90 bucks delivered. And this is a product from our local, what do you call it, power company or whatever?
So our
water,
city.
sewer, power, city actually produces this. Tagro is the company that does it. They have some stuff that is a little better drainable, but we might have to amend a little bit more from what we have just kind of stored here, but it looks like it's going to mix out pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with it. I wanted to bring you guys over to this pile right here. You can see actually how much wood compost is still in this. Like, one of the things that we would have done had this been more of a traditional farm and not like our own little crazy garden situation that we got going here, we probably would have gone to the sawdust pile and pulled from that in order to amend this kind of thick black stuff. You can see here how dry it is and how much it cakes up into these balls. That's a really good indication of you have just a little too much organic mixed in. But
Compost would be the same way.
The compost would be the same way, yeah. So you could actually use your compost to amend this a fair bit. But it's working out pretty well. Glad to be back from Europe and working on our garden. I'm not sure what else is new around this neck of the woods because it's been a while since I've done a garden update. But that's what's going on here. We did lose one of our chickens while we were gone. Actually had to take it to the vet and put it down. The mites were just too bad for it, and it just wasn't recovering. So, you know, good news, bad news. The rest of the flock is doing well at this point. But
Booger's okay.
What's that?
Booger's okay.
Booger's doing all right. Booger's over there being the old mama chicken. So everybody is doing fairly well at this point. That one chicken didn't recover. I would have handled that, but I was overseas, so Vicky took him to the vet and had him put down that way. So, but today I'm also going to get some, we're going to try and get the gates put in, the rest of the gates going into the fenced area here, and along with, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. And next weekend we'll do another update on what's going on. You know, what is this thing, babe?
That's the lilac bush.
It's a lilac bush. I don't know. There was questions about it yesterday, and I have no answers. All right. Later.